Hello, this is my first video in a while because I have switched over to scrapbooking, and I wanted to show you my journal that I've gotten completed finally. It was a rather large journal, to say the least, and it took me a while to get it done, but I'm pleased with it and I finally got it accomplished, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, we'll start out. This fabric that I've got laid down here is a beautiful upholstery fabric I've had for a long time, and I just loved it and I wanted to use it some way, so I decided I'd use it in this journal. So I've covered the cover of the journal, basically the background of the cover, with this fabric, and I think you can probably still get this fabric. I'm not sure who makes it. If I find the manufacturer, I will post it on my video at the bottom. But anyhow, I'll start off with the cover. These little cutouts are Tim Holtz wildflower cutouts, and I wanted to make them a little bit different, so I ended up using watercolor paper, and I did some watercolor splotches, basically, or backgrounds, and then I laid my dies on top of the background and cut it out with the dies. And I really like the way it looks, because I couldn't have done that if I had tried. This happens, you know, that's the way it is with watercolor. Then I wanted to add a little extra detail to it, so I used the black pilot pen. Let's see, which one was it? This one. Pigment ink, acid-free, archival quality, ZIG, Millennium. Let me see if I'm in frame. Okay, because I'm not used to this. Okay, there it goes. And it's fade-proof, waterproof, non-bleeding. You could also use the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen as well. But it was a little bit bigger tip than I wanted, so that's why I ended up with that one's one I had. Okay, let's see if we can get this in frame. I think that's going to have to be just about as far out as I can get without raising the whole thing. Let's hope it can get in there. Let's try it and see. Oh, before I finish, this is a snippet that I did for the binder or the back of the journal, and this is just the fabric. I just left that plain. Okay, but I really like this snippet. I didn't know what I was going to use it on when I first made it, but I used all kinds of different little pieces of antique lace, ribbons that I've dyed with sari silk ribbons, the butterflies, which I've embellished, little antique clock faces, and of course a fairy with fairy wings, some old buttons, etc., you can say. Okay, now let's see if I can get this in frame. I might have to end up raising this up. Okay, I just used some antique lace, which I backed on muslin and stitched for the ties, which I wrapped all the way around the journal so they're good and sturdy. Okay, and the name of the journal is Gotta Be Me, because it is based on bees, and I will have to post that on the bottom. I can't remember now because I just grabbed them. It's a digital kit, but I don't remember who did the digital kit, but I'll put that on the bottom of the video. This is a digital as well, which I used. I wanted to bring out the rabbit, so I used some of the diamond glaze, I believe it, on there. Just a little butterfly cutout, an antique doily that I used, as well as did a collage here of some old clock face buttons, etc. Okay. This inside of the front cover is basically just a collage. I used some digital papers, butterflies, digital, cut it out myself. Now this right here is a original painting I did for this journal, and I made it. I scanned it in and and printed it out on canvas, and put it on this piece of craft paper, so it's like a journaling tag. Some more of that really pretty paper. I was going to show you the original painting, but I don't know if I have it right here right now. If I run across it, I'll do it. Anyhow, my game plan here is to do a whole group of paintings that can be used and sell it digitally, that can be used in journals, which will be my original paintings. So if anybody might be interested, keep watching for that. I don't know exactly what the subject matter is going to be. It may be more than one subject matter. I haven't decided for sure. It may be a work in progress, but that's my idea anyhow. There's so much talk these days about, can I use it or can't I use it, and if I sell it, can I sell it or not? People who are making this stuff, everything from the stamps to the, different, just different things that we use for our journals, have what they call an angel policy. And to me, it takes all the fun out of it if you got to worry about whether or not you can use it and then sell it. So my idea is to do original artwork, maybe do some collages with that artwork, do some other ephemera projects with that artwork, and that way I can put it out there, I can use it myself, I can put it out there, and anyone can use it as long as they don't try to resell it like they're doing in China, scamming off of all of our efforts and reselling it in China. And I try to be really thoughtful when I order stuff. AliExpress is one of the worst places you can get stuff from, and I know it's cheap. I bought stuff from it before I realized what was happening. And I just don't want to promote China from using the creativity of the ladies here in America without permission. So I try not to buy anything that I don't know where that product is coming from, and if it's from China, I just find it someplace else, because I figure the only way we can curb this activity is to don't buy their stuff. If we quit buying their stuff, then they won't be doing that to us anymore. Anyhow, enough of that, so I'm going to move on. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, I think it's 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whatever these things are called here, I can't even think of it right now. Anyhow, and each of the, I'll think of the name of it here in a minute, excuse me, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there's 15 pages, not counting both sides, in each one of these sections. I don't know why I'm brain dead this morning, but anyhow, so you can multiply it out. If you did both sides, you can kind of understand how many pages are in here. I'll let you do the math. I'm not going to do that. So let's move on. Okay. I'm not going to describe everything unless it's something a little bit different. It'll take forever. This is rice paper. I printed on rice paper and decoupaged it on the piece of tea-dyed paper, which I used, I believe it's Medieval Mirage. Showed us a technique using stencils and lace and all kinds of things, which I really love her technique. Shout out to her. I've just bought some of her believe it was volume 1. Anyhow, it's used in here some. I used her work. It just blends well with everything I was doing. But anyhow, so that's what most of the tea-dyed paper is. It's using her technique. And if you're interested in that, go to her YouTube channel and you can find the technique there. Okay, from just some old books. I love this book. It has sketches as well as watercolor paintings that this lady did, and I'll put the book in my description below. She's really a good artist. She sketches beautifully. She's from England, and just beautiful artwork. I'm an artist, so I appreciate that sort of thing. Again, tea-dyed paper. This is again out of a little botanical book. This is another one of my little snippets I did and added to this strip of lace. There is also a pocket here, and this again is just a decorated up page. Graphic fairy, I'm pretty sure, on this one. And this one here, I'll put it down below. Again, digital printout. And this one here, I should have written that down to let you know what it is. Everybody uses it. Beautiful hand-painted journal. This is an old document that I got digitally, and the difference is it's printed on this paper. It's cheap, 500 pages, Amazon, but it looks like old book page. And when you print old documents on it, or any old pictures or anything, it just gives it that ancient old look, which is exciting. So I use it for all purposes, a lot of different purposes, because it gives you that one step further that you can, it appears that it's old paper. Edith Holden, that's who I'm thinking of, Edith Holden. Alright, this is a collage I did using some stamps and an old book page and a stencil. More digitals. This is some more digitals I got. I can't remember, but I think it's Tracy Fox. I don't want to be saying something that's wrong, but I'll look and make sure. So, another little snippet I did. And this is Medieval Mirage, her paper, circle paper. This came from a graphic 45, this little envelope. And inside the envelope, I'm trying to think what I put in there. Oh, I just put a little graphic 45 tag in there. No biggie. But I had it, and I thought, well, what the heck, I can put it in there. Maybe somebody will want it, use it. And then this is a tag also from graphic 45, the French, country French paper, which I love. Okay, the other side of that. Okay, this right here is something, this is another one of those, it's a Tim Holtz wildflower, I believe it is. I think Sizzix makes it. Anyhow, wonderful. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, here it is. Let me see if you can see that. All right. There you go. See that little black-eyed Susans, what I call them. They're wildflowers. What I did is I cut these out, and again I used the same technique as I described before on the front of the cover, and it gives it a dimensional appearance, and I really like the technique. So then I took my pit pen and I put the little seed pods in there, and I started out with the watercolor, just splashing watercolor on. It's like a wash, and you just throw it on there, and then you put your die cuts in there and cut them out. And then out of the paper that the die cuts came out of, it made a perfect stencil. So I used the distress ink and used it as a stencil down here, so it mimics like a shadow, which I thought came out pretty good. Oh, and this stencil here is done with this little piece of paper, which is actually, if you've ever done any repair work on a house, sheetrock, you use it to cover the seams of sheetrock before you put the plaster on. Okay, some miscellaneous collaging. The bead paper. And this one is from a lady in Germany, I believe. She has the most wonderful rabbit digitals. And I love rabbits. Raised a couple of wild rabbits when I was younger. So I have a love for rabbits. But anyhow, just some different collage papers. I tried to put a lot of writing space in here where you can post pictures, you can journal it, you can use it for different purposes, and still you would have your inspiration with the beautiful papers and cards and tags, etc. Okay, this one is antique lace pocket I've made on them. This one is something I just put together. I don't know. I just wanted to, I had this little piece of paper here. I think it was a package or something. I got something in. I think it was safety pins. I don't remember. So I kept the piece of paper or the cardboard in, and I just covered it with some napkins. And there again is another one of those little flowers I was telling you about. I dyed the sari silk I purchased with, what did I use? Oh, I don't know. I think it was one of those spray bottles of from Dilutions, maybe. One of them. I have a bunch of them. You can use anything like that. Alcohol inks, you name it. But it makes a really pretty dye on that sari silk. Okay, this is some Graphic Fairies buggy things. I thought it was appropriate here on the wildflowers. A little stamp I have. This was a digital some lady sells, and I'll have to look it up. But apparently she paints these moths and butterflies and things, so I thought that was interesting. Because since this is sort of a nature, bee, natural, bug, you name it, type of journal for someone who loves nature. Okay, this was a Tim Holtz. Here it is. Can't believe it, I had it. A Tim Holtz die cut by Sizzix. And there's two different sizes of butterflies. So I just did two different cuts. One is a blank or base, and the other has the cutouts. And that is just some scrapbooking paper I had for a long time. Okay, this is a little file folder, and I just think the little file folders are so cute. This was done with it's a Tim Holtz tissue paper. That's what it was. And I don't even remember what this was for sure. But anyhow, I did some tea dyeing on it, and this paper here I think was tea dyed, and then I did a stencil on it as well. Okay, and then this is again those little flowers I was telling you about that make such a cool three-dimensional effect. And so I put the little flowers down with the technique I just told you about. Then in the background I drew these little round kind of dots of watercolor, and then I just added some little green leaf type texture. Very simple, and then I used my little bit pen and kind of made a little bit more distinction to it. I really like the way it came out. This is a good example of the medieval mirage, the technique, the wonderful texture it gives the paper is just, I mean, I've been hoarding it. I just don't, I'm afraid I can't get it again because it's such a cool thing. I use plastic plastic placemats because I didn't have any of the plastic tablecloth at the time. That's what that is. And then laces, old laces, things that had a was not real dense but was loosely, you know, woven or whatever. Makes a better design. Again, that's the placemat, plastic. Using the little stencil I was showing you earlier that you use in building a house. This is one of my favorite little stencils. I don't know who made it. I've had it for a long time, but it's really cool. A little bird. And of course you gotta have some honeycombs if you're gonna have bees. And other different stencils. I have a stencil, a doily stencil. That's what that's from. Again, doily stencil. This is kind of a, it's really cool. I love this stencil. I use it all the time. It's beautiful on anything. The other part of that stencil from the church window, or medieval window, whatever you want to call it. And then on the back I used, again, this kind of reflects the paisley or filigree type scrapbook paper I used with the little die cut of a dragonfly. And then this down here I dyed what do you call it? Cheesecloth. Can't think. Live. That's what you need to do. Live life. Oh, and here I just put I think this is a Nick the Booksmith wings download that I bought, and I put it on vellum, printed it on vellum, and it's just beautiful because it makes it look translucent. Anyhow, so that. And this is a little pocket I made from a old book of different botanicals and weeds and things, which I just sewed onto the back of this piece of paper here. And collages. What I tried to do is repeat whatever I decided to put in my first signature. Finally remembered it. My first signature, I tried to repeat that sequence, and it seemed to work pretty good. This is just that paper I was showing you earlier. That's $12 for like 500, and I think it's paper they use like for kids. Like you've seen that gray looking paper. I think this is the same thing on a different color. Anyhow, I just pinched that up and made it look like a gathered ribbon or whatever, and stitched it. Again, a little collage thing, a little snippet I made. Cute little girl. I love the little snippets. It just gives a personality to every page, and every one of them is different. And you use up your little pieces of cloth and paper. Again, same technique. Use the paper I had cut it out with my die cut for the flowers, and used it as a stencil. There's a little three-dimensional butterfly that I did using old scrapbook music sheet. And this right here is a Graphics Fairy digital that I printed on vellum, and it's just beautiful. I don't know, I just love it. Okay, this is a Edith Holden. The back side was a bunch of text, so I just used a avocado dye digital I got from online, yet Etsy, and Between Friends on there. Edith Holden. Here's the back side of the other page. Now this was something I thought was interesting. I found, I don't even know where I got them from. It may have been Graphic Fairy, I can't remember, but I wanted some of the old photo cards that they used to use all the time, and and I found these. So I printed them off, and I found this, I think think this was in one of the digital downloads, like of online that I got from Etsy. But anyhow, it's a cute little picture of a family group. And again, same little digital. I used the same little butterfly technique, but this came out of some scrapbooking paper I've had for a long time and stitched around it. Just decorated that up. This is leftover scrap from something. This is an embossed envelope out of some digital paper, and I just folded up a tea-dyed paper and put inside for your little secret letters or notes you'd like to put in there, or whatever, how you'd like to use it. Some more bugs I got from an old book of bugs. This is a really cool stamp I got from I think it's Maki, M-A-K-I stamps. Really good quality stamps, as you can see. From, I think they're stamps that they have made from these old botanical drawings. Medieval Mirage. Holden, antique lace. Now this is something that I got for free. I believe it was from Graphic Fairy, and it looked like a little house. Anyhow, it was a tag, so I just folded it up and made a pocket. This is some digitals again that I got of little thistles and some tea-dyed fabric, and I just slide it in there. Medieval Mirage. I backed with some of that paper I was telling you about that looks old to begin with, and I printed the digital I had, which is I don't know if it's what it is, but it looks like it's maybe Spanish. Good, neat little journaling cards. Okay, this one here is, again, it's a little strip I made, which is so much fun. I'm gonna make some more of these, because when you have these already made, you can just cut them to whatever size and stick them on a page, put it on your cover, use it on your spine. There's so many things you can do with it, and they're just fun to do. So, saw that online. One of the girls that I watch all the time, don't remember who it was. Artsy May, I think, does a lot of those. And there was another little English lady on there that is so funny to watch, and she does all kinds of beautiful things with fabrics. It's just amazing. The art of fabric art is almost lost. So I'm so glad to see that the community of scrapbookers and journalists are bringing it back. It's something that we all need to cherish and learn and pass down. This is just beautiful paper. Every one of them, I just love every one of them. I should have, this is my first video, like I said, so I'm not really good at this yet. This is just a little collage. I think they called it Franken paper, where you take a whole sheet of paper and you just collage the whole sheet, then you cut it out. Really cool idea. I think Gayle, I can't pronounce her last name, sweet little lady out of Montana. I watch her every day. She makes me laugh. She's just wonderful. If y'all haven't seen her crafting video, it's something you really need to see, because she just makes you remember we're not perfect. We all make mistakes, and it's okay. That's how we learn. And anyhow, I have to sit there at night. I sit and watch her, and a lot of times I'm cracking up laughing with her because she just is that kind of personality. So fun. That's her thing. It's so fun. Okay, another beautiful paper. digital, backed it with the tea-dyed paper. This different colors came from the fact that the stencils I had leftover ink on it from where I'd used stencils with, and I didn't wash them off, which gives a really cool tint to the papers, I think. This is a Medieval Mirage. I think it's a belly band. I don't know what she uses it for, but I used it for a tab. I thought it was just so pretty, and it's neutral. And so I used a strip here from her paper, and then used it as a little tab, because, you know, some of these papers are a little hard to turn if you don't have a tab. Look at that. I mean, that just inspires you to go pick up a brush and paint. That's just gorgeous. Again, stencils from them. And this is a piece of the fabric. Some other antique lace I had, and I just made a pocket. This thing I've had for the longest time. I printed it out on canvas. It has a really cool texture and feel to it. Looks like it's been painted on canvas. And this is just a little collage I did because I wanted to incorporate the bugs in there, and I wanted to also incorporate some type of clock looking things, the old buttons, like lavender, like you would put in your lavender pot, and some of the Graphics 45 country French paper. I mean, you know, what more can you ask for? Everything I love. Edith Holden. That lady was a gift to the world. Medieval Mirage. I still have to go back. You know, when you think you're done with something and you go looking through it, you see you haven't finished. So I have to go back and put some little something on these little strings before I can call it complete. Checkerboard stencil. Here's another Medieval Mirage paper. Alphabet stencil. Turned out really cool, I thought. And this is English bluebells. I wished I knew the name of the person who did this, because they're just beautiful work. The bee paper, the beautiful flowers. A belly band I did using this fabric, and a little lace collage with some butterflies. Okay. This, again, I'd have to look up the papers, but it's a digital paper. And what I did is I just put the butterfly on there, and then put a little, you know, tea-stained notepad. So that just goes in like so. Clips underneath there. And this is a, it was some cards I got for, what was it, recipes. I think I got it from Michael's. Anyhow, I tea-dyed it and put a napkin on there, did some stamping, you know, etc. That way you can still write on the back. This one I haven't finished. I've got to put my little band on there. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'll get that finished. This I used a real loose weave. Let me see if I've got some of it. Here it is. It was an old runner, but see how loose the weave is? And it's got little fringes on it. This is what I used in my tea dyeing technique, and you can see the little bitty holes, like see those little bitty holes all in here. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but anyhow, and even the fringe. So cool. Okay, this is a pocket made out of an envelope that I just glued on. Again, this is some old scrapbook paper I had, but it goes really well with this. And just a little journaling card, pocket, of course. And this right here, I made a tag. Sorry, silk. I had tea dyed. This cute little boy and his dog. I mean, can you believe it? And there's that beautiful stamps by Mackie Stamps. With them, all of these are her stamps. Their stamps. I think it's two ladies. Anyhow, that was fun to do. Okay, these are just some of the Medieval Mirage envelopes, and I've got to put a little journaling card in there, and I lined it so you wouldn't see a white piece of paper. Let's see. So that's on that side. This is I think it's supposed to be for a spine for a book, but I thought, what a cool, you could use it for a bookmarker. There's that little belly band that I've been using for tabs, but it also works for that. You could put a skinny tag in there too, I'm supposing. Again, it's covering the edge of that. Beautiful watercolors. Some more of that paper. Same B paper. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Okay, this is a little, what do you call it, butterfly clip I made out of a paper clip. And I think it was Gayle who had gotten some Happy Mail or something. And the paper clip was going to show, so she put this little sari silk on there. I thought it was a cute idea. The digital butterfly, the butterfly being, whatever. And this is a really old tag I had, but it fit the purpose. And this was the hole that I cut out for the picture on the photo card that I used. And I found this really cool picture of the mother and her children and used it there, which I think turned out cute. And this was a very old, I don't even know where I got it from, but I printed it on canvas again. I love to print stuff on canvas. Okay, again, Medieval Mirage. It's got a little tag in there. I'm not going to take it out. We're almost done here. Medieval Mirage tag. And I wanted to use them for like a tab because they're so pretty. Here again, a little tag I use for a tab. And these are different descriptions and the botanical name for certain plants that Edith Holden had in her book. Definitions, I thought it needed to be saved. Crab apple and white throats and nest. This lady. Another, it was a digital, I'm pretty sure, a digital printout, and I just embossed it. And I put some tea-dyed paper in there for journaling, or whatever purpose you want to use it for. Again, beautiful crocus. And another tag that I did out of my original art, roses I watercolored. And then this is Medieval Mirage, the last paper. And then this book is from the library of, and then you put your name in there. I got that online too, I can't remember where. But that is it. It's a big, chunky book. And if you don't want it to be this chunky, you can take out all of the embellishments and use them for whatever purpose, for gift tags, which is a really cool way to use your tags if you don't want to use them for the in the book itself. So when you give a special gift, you've got a handmade tag that you can give to that special person. That's one reason. That's one thing you could use it for. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will probably be putting this on in my Etsy shop. I've had an Etsy shop for a good while, but I haven't been maintaining it, so I have some of my artwork in there, but I want to start putting in lesser priced items, and maybe get some I'm going to do some scans on different things too. I think I've got some old newspapers, etc. I might want to put in there. So anyhow, appreciate you watching and hearing me babble on here. Hopefully it gave you some ideas, and shortly I would like to start doing some videos and scrapbooking. I have videos I've done in so I have a YouTube channel, and I believe it's under Barbie's Artistic Expression, which I'll put the tab down there for my video channel, or the link. When I was doing acrylic and resin pours, so I have some videos, I forget how many, but quite a few. So I will be adding that to my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, well, go look at my YouTube channel and keep watch for some new videos coming. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.